Dare to walk this path with me? One misstep, and we fall to our ruin. So take your first step. It's now or never!
What is up, YouTube? It's RS Mario here. Long time no see. I know it's been a rough couple months when it comes to content, mainly with like February being lame and March being very lame. All I can say is I apologize. Work, procrastination, and Overwatch League. That's all I can really blame on. blame it on. But I do have a Fire Emblem theory for you today, and it all started when I saw this. That's right, I haven't seen anybody talk about this yet, so I decided to go ahead and hop on it now. And it's interesting because this symbol you don't see anywhere else. Like, I mean, if you look at the Japanese soundtrack disc, you can actually see they have all of the seals on that disc. This seal is nowhere to be found. It's not even found on the original goddess portrait. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't find this symbol anywhere. So, why is it here, and why are these the only two people who have it? Well, I do have a couple theories about that. So, Lego. So, the first theory is, of course, that Sothis is the goddess of another country. So, of course, that could be one reason why we don't see this symbol anywhere, is because it's actually a seal from another country. And, I mean, it would kind of work because these dudes dress like barbarians or Vikings, whereas the guys we see mostly, you know, the armies we see mostly in this game are mostly like, you know, your standard European knight type of armor, or at least European-based armors. We don't usually see like the Scandinavian type like we see with the guys with our evil Jagan friend here. So it could be that she is the goddess of a different country. You know, every country has its own goddess. I mean, so that could be what's going on here. And the church could have her imprisoned. Thus, this is the reason why our evil Jagan friend is coming after you. Is because the church has sealed his goddess away. Which would be interesting. I mean, because that would be a reason why she would work with you against the church so she can get away. I mean, why else would she give you powers and get you a job and all this other kind of stuff? Is that she's using you as a means to an end. Which would be a very interesting story because you will be questioning who is evil. Is the old man evil? Or is he just trying to free his goddess? Is Sothis evil? Because there's got to be a reason she's been bound up and she's been sealed, you know, like this. You know, I mean, did the church seal her away because she was evil? Did the church seal her away because, you know, maybe she was degrading? Because that's a thing that dragons do. They degrade and eventually they go feral and become evil monsters. Or did they seal her away so they can spread the religion of their goddess to another country? Which is entirely possible, since religion plays a big role in this game. Either of these could be interesting ideas, but I think that she could be from a different country. What if our old Jagan friend here is Soros? And this theory, I kind of held on to it for a while because I didn't think it was as interesting as the other theories I've done. But I think that it could very well be an interesting thing to at least talk about. That if he is Soros. And think about it this way. I mean, if he is Soros, have you ever seen, like, the Ten Commandments? Or read the book of Exodus? Where the Israelites, they go to this mountain. I can't remember the name of the mountain. But they go there for the, and of course Moses goes up the mountain to get the Ten Commandments from God. So God writes the Ten Commandments. Of course, Moses is up there for a very long time. They think Moses is dead because he's old. So then they decide to go ahead and make their own God and worship it because that's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? So then, of course, Moses comes back and like, what did you do? You know what I'm saying? And so, of course, he makes him destroy the god and then drink it in water, which it's very biblical. Very, very biblical. What if Fire Emblem was going for something like that with Sothis? Sothis, I mean, the church could have done something so wrong that Sothis himself is either sent back by the goddess or comes back to right the wrongs, similar to how Moses did when he came off the mountain. And it's actually kind of interesting because it explains a lot. Because it explains why the symbol is nowhere else. Because, of course, if, the church is going left, maybe they destroyed all remnants of this symbol because this is the symbol of House Soros, the original house that the church was built on. And, of course, they want to remove all that because they're not doing that anymore. The church is in the business for themselves. So that could be why that, the only place you see this symbol is on Soros' troops. And, of course, on Sothis because she's probably the dragon goddess's daughter. That also reveals why they have her imprisoned. I mean, because if the church is taking control of itself and just using the goddess as a way to maintain this control, they, of course, are going to lock away her daughter. Because you can't have an actual goddess dragon out there if you're, going into business for yourself and just using the religion to control people. I mean, of course, that would explain that. And it would also explain another mystery as to why our evil Jagan friend can use the Krusty Blade. Because the Krusty Blade is the special sword of the game. So, the only person who can use that sword is the main character. Kind of like how, Chrom is the only one who can use the Falcion, or the original Falcion. Even Lucina has her own version of the Falcion from her timeline, but it's not the specific Chrom Falcion, because that's for Chrom. Not even your character can use the Falcion. So, for something like that, for the evil character to be able to use the big primary weapon is a huge thing. How is this possible? Well, think about it this way. The goddess gave a gift to Sothis the same way that Sothis gave powers to Byleth. So it actually kind of works. I mean, if Sothis is the goddess's daughter, or she's from the same dragon tribe as the goddess, she would have the ability to give gifts to mortals. And of course, the gift could come with being able to use the Krusty Sword. And, I mean, of course, Soros being able to use the Krusty Sword to its full abilities, he can use it to reanimate the powers of these seals and turn it into that big whip sword he uses to own all those people. It explains a whole lot. So, man, I've been sitting on that for a while. My brain is clear now. Can finally do more videos, which is what I'm going to do. I hope you like this theory. I'm trying to work on some more theories, but again, it's kind of a dry spot now. But E3 is on the way, so we're probably going to get some more information. Not to mention the Fire Emblem Fest or Con or whatever it is coming. So we probably get some more information there too. But that's about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and keep it real.